Okie dokie. How's it going, guys? Thank you so much for hanging in there. Sorry about the wait. I had my kids doing some chores, and I had to make sure they got everything done properly and not cutting any corners. I was paying them $1 each, so just want to make sure they earned it. My wife is at the doctor's. She had just a doctor's appointment. She's almost home, but as you guys may know or may not, but we are expecting our 4th baby at the end of March. So she had a checkup for that, and we are excited about getting little baby Nino number 4. So yeah, we don't know what it's going to be yet, but it's going to be a surprise. But as long as it's healthy, that's good. That is good. That's all we care about. So yeah. So thank you for hanging in there. Let me get my, where's my image? Nope, not that one. That's a bummer. My Shadow Sentry image is gone. Oh well. Let's see if this one's here. That one's there. Where did my Shadow Sentry pick go? Interesting. Oh well, you guys can look at some Wolverine Weapon X. That was my stream yesterday. I did a spotlight on Barry Windsor Smith and his Weapon X run. That was cool. Yes, sir. Little ones are the future for sure. And speaking of little ones, so this picture you're seeing here, this is my son, Avon. He's 9 years old, soon to be 10. But I printed out, they love me printing out pictures that I've done and they ink it. And so this is a Jim Lee Batman that I printed out for him, and he's been inking it, and it's coming out like really good. So I want to show you that. So yeah, I'm excited. I might have an inker homegrown in the house here. But he wants to sell this on the Friday night auctions tomorrow night, so we're gonna shoot for that. So that would be cool. So what did I miss? Cecil got EVS in trouble, and now EVS can't stream for 3 months for showing Grammy Awards on EVS's live stream last night. Huh. Bummer. All right. Well, anyway, so I do have a commission that I need to work on for Pike. He is a villain from the WildCATS. So I'm going to be working on that today for a bit. And then also, to break it up, do something a little different. I thought I might do a little show and tell. Give you a little walkthrough of my office and show you the artwork I have on my walls for inspiration. How's that? So let's start with that. I'll show you what's on the Nino wall and what I collect. Oops. No, I don't want to switch to tablet mode. So check it out. Here's my wall of inspiration. Got some posters. Here's Wetworks. Wilch Portaccio, old school 90s Wetworks. This was Wilch Portaccio's creator-owned book from Image, and it's a sweet book. So I got that up on my wall. Forget where I got that, but it's cool. It's big, it's laminated, it's awesome. So I think that one was inked by Scott Williams too. I don't see a signature on there, but so I got that one there. And then these ones over here, these are prints that I pick up from shows. So whenever I go to a show, I try and pick up a print from an artist. Maybe I sit next to him. Sometimes we do like a print swap or something, but yeah, I try and get at least one, maybe two sometimes if they have a deal. So the top left, that is Ken Lashley. That is Wolverine. He has a really cool style. I love his sketchy stuff. And I don't remember where I got that. That might have been WonderCon. But yeah. This one is Mark Bagley. The Spider-Man and Deadpool. This one's cool. To Eric Bagley. This one I got a few years ago. I think this one was from Dragon Con. But he was sitting a few rows over from me. and he wasn't too busy, so I ran over and I got this print and got him to sign it. This one is cool. Captain America, Olivier Coipel, I think is how you say his name, or Oliver Coipel, I don't know. But this one I think I got from San Diego Comic-Con. So that one's cool. And this one you can kind of see all the detail and stuff. Really cool. I think he did marker on this or something, but really cool stuff. I really like his style. Very cool. Then of course, boom, boom, boom. Gotta have a Jim Lee or 2 or 3 up on the wall. But here's a Batman Superman. This one I got in Hawaii. I've been doing the Hawaii show, the Amazing Hawaii show, for, gosh, since it started. The first year Stan Lee was there, and it was really awesome, really good show. And then I think Jim Lee was there the 2nd or 3rd year, and I got that print from him. This one, Dustin Nguyen, is a cool one. I sat next to him at WonderCon, so I got this from him. Really cool stuff. Awesome Batman. One down here. Oh, look, it's Jim Lee again. This one is a cover that he did. This one isn't signed. This is from like a poster book I got. So I put that one up there. This is one of my favorite covers from his Hush Batman run. So that one's cool. And then my other favorite, this is a big poster on my wall here. But this is one of my favorites. And this one actually was a commission that he did for a guy. I read this story somewhere. It was a commission and the guy didn't like it. He refused it for whatever reason. So Jim Lee took it and made it into an alternate cover. I think it was like the 2nd printing of Batman #1, the Hush series that he did. But how can you not like that? It's like so iconic. I love that image. Look at that real big there. Some darkness. This one, the Superman, that is Alex Sinclair. That's like original colors, marker colors on a Jim Lee piece. I got that from San Diego Comic-Con. So that one is up there. But over here, the Ninja Turtles, this is, I think it's Nunez. Eddie Nunez? Yeah. His stuff is awesome. He has a really cool style. So that's Eddie Nunez's Ninja Turtles. Forget what show I got that from. Then this one, Travis Charest, I believe it is. I got this from Richard Friend, but I actually got Travis's signature on there, and then Richard Friend. This was a Wizard cover. I got this from Richard. Gosh, I don't remember where, but to get Travis Charest's signature on it is like, that doesn't happen much because he's from Canada. So I'm stoked that I got his signature on there too. So anyway, that's a cool one. Richard Friend does a lot of conventions and stuff, so I picked that one up from him. Tony Daniel. This one, I don't know if this was C2E2 or a Chicago show. I forget, but I loved his Deathstroke run. That was cool. So I got that one. And then I do have a Kevin Eastman on the back of one of these. So on the back of each of these, there's like another print. So I just turn them around every so often. Kind of refresh the wall. Roscoe Davis, hello. What's up, man? But this one is actually Michael Dooney. And I got this last year from San Diego Comic-Con. He was 2 booths over from me. So this is a really sweet Leonardo. All Japanesed out. So yeah. Little head sketch. Cool. Yeah, man. So these are all prints that I pick up at the various shows I do. And yeah. And then last but not least, this is mine. This is a big metal X-Men print. I don't want to have it on the floor, so I just put it on the wall when I'm not taking it to a show to sell. But it's a big metal print. So yeah, there you have it. Some other stuff. Here's my board. Things to do. I don't really use that board much, but yep. So old posters and stuff. All right, so there you have it. Some little inspiration. And then in front of my desk, I've got the classic X-Men 90s poster and then some other stuff. This one's the Batman Superman. That's another Richard Friend print that he inked over Jim Lee. So I got that one there. Some Joe Mad, some more Jim Lee, Travis Charest, little Doom, Dr. Doom on there. All right, so there you go. There's my wall of inspiration. And yes, sir. So I hope you guys are doing good. Hope you all having a good day. Thanks for hanging in there. I'm going to do some drawing. I'm going to do Pike from the WildCATS. So got my blank piece of paper, 11 by 14, and I will get started. And I got my crow's neck thing attached to my shelf, so hopefully it won't wiggle when I draw. So let's hope that that works today. Little miniature improvements, trying to get better for you guys. Thanks, Nighthawk Warrior. Yeah, I'm a big Jim Lee fan. Shadow Sentry pages. I finished yesterday on my stream. I finished the roughs for page 5. So that is where I left off on that. Where is it? I don't know. But yeah, so haven't done any more Shadow Sentry stuff. I did Drawn and Quartered last night on the couples edition, and I did Rogue and Gambit. So that was my Drawn and Quartered submission. So that's the only new thing I've got. All right. I want to know how to pronounce your name. Is it Tzu, or is the T silent? Is it just Zoo? Tzu? I'm curious. I don't want to get your name wrong. So if I could just call you Zoo, let me know. I'll do that. Or if it's Tzu, I'll do that. But all right, let me get started here. All right, so I'll use pencil for my breakdown, my loose rough here, so you can see it. I won't use the blue line because the blue line will disappear and you won't be able to see it on the stream. Yeah. I need to, gosh, let me see if I can position my camera a little more above me and I can get more of the screen in there. Unfortunately, because this thing is so stretched out, it's very like flimsy and it wants to dip down on my table. So I need it higher. All right, let's see here. I'm only on page 5 for Shadow Sentry, and today is February 13th. Yeah, I'm launching in 2 weeks, so I still got time. And like I said, I wanted to have 5 to 6 pages done, so I should be able to get there. If I can get 7, wonderful. But I'm going to launch regardless. I'm going to launch in February, and then I'll just, keep drawing, keep sharing the colors as they come in, and just keep posting them on the campaign. So, yes, sir. All right, so this is going to be a Pike commission. It's a 3/4 body, so it's from his mid-thigh up. And let's see here. Here is a little reference pic, if I could find it. I actually drew Pike in Inktober. Because he is a WildCATS character that I enjoyed. So where's he at? There he is. So that is Pike, for those of you who don't know the character, from the WildCATS. And that is who I'm drawing. So I'll keep that out. But I do have another pic on my phone. See if I can find it real quick. Screenshots. Nope, not there. Camera. Downloads. Nope, not there. Boop, 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 boop. I have so many stinking folders in my gallery, but here it is. So this was a cool little pic Jim Lee did back in the day. It was in Homage Comics. or Image Comics Presents, Homage Studios, or some junk like that. But it was a really cool book. It had a whole bunch of different artists in it, and that sweet picture of Pike. So, all right. So on this commission, the guy told me he wants him like facing the camera, looking mean and scary, about to fight somebody. So it's a 3/4. So I'm gonna measure it out a bit. So head here, thighs will be here. And some of this you're not gonna be able to see, so I do apologize. But his waist should be around here. Head will be bigger like that. And then I'm gonna have his hand. I want his because he has a staff, like a bow staff, so I want that kind of coming out at the viewer. So I'm gonna have his hand here and the staff coming out at us. And draw a light line for that. I always find it difficult when I'm working like constrained, like I need to fit, you know, this certain amount of the character in the frame, because it's almost like working backwards. Because usually I'll just start with the head and I'll just start, you know, sketching. But if I know I'm stuck in this little area, it's hard. It's easy to get your proportions off. And even on this drawing last night, I was looking at it again. I'm like, I think Gambit's legs are too short. So I knew I wanted his feet here, and so I kind of like, all right, I have this much to work in, so I start sketching, but it's easy to get off on your proportions. But I think it's probably not super noticeable, but I think his legs could be bigger and longer. So anyway, it's one of those things. So what I do is if you're gonna measure your head, you can measure by like the size of the head. So I know if I do another head here, this should be about mid-chest. The whole chest itself is about a head's width or length. So his position is going to be kind of like this. So that should be about the bottom of his chest, if I'm measuring right. And then another head should be about to his waist. And then something like that. And I apologize, I know I'm sketching very light right now, but hopefully you can see that. So just trying to get my sizing down. Cool, cool. My wifey's back. Love you, baby. All right. Yeah, so that doesn't look right to me, but anywho, so I'm gonna start doing these. Bang, bang, bang. Zen Zoo. All right, what I missed? Let me see. So, I'm not launching my comic till I have all my pages done, and I'm only showing the first 4 pages for the finals. Zen Zoo. Hey Eric, are you doing an Ashcan for Shadow Sentry 2? An Ashcan. I don't think so. I've thought about it, but I don't know. I might just stick to the comics for this one and I'll have like a sketch cover, but Ashcan, I'm not sure. It's not off the table, but I'd have to figure that out. It's got to be cost effective. Because, yeah, not sure, but thanks for asking. All right. So how is this showing up for you guys? Can you see it okay? All right, gonna draw my fingers on the staff. And the staff's probably a little too big, but I can shrink it down a little. And then the other thing he wanted was the bow staff with the the Kirby crackle around it. And he has, he sent me a reference that's actually one that Brett Booth did. And he's got like these different kind of things around his forearms that actually have the Kirby crackle in it. So I'll try and get that in there too. I don't have that reference on my phone, but speaking of like proportions and getting your measurements right, something you can always do, and something I learned in art college, you can hold your picture up to a mirror. If you can't see through it in the light, you can hold it up to the light and look at it, and you can kind of get a different view of it and see if things are looking proper. So you can hold it up to a mirror or up to the light and look through it and look at it backwards and kind of get an idea of if things are off or not. So it's one way to do it if you're unsure. This is pencil and this is a HB, so it's really light. I'm not doing the blue line. I thought this might be easier to see, but I don't know. So, and then his other hand will be down here. All right, up there, something like that. I'm drawing them nice and big and bulky. Make them nice and muscular. I'd rather trim them down than have to scale them up. So I'm going big and bulky. I sort of see your blue lines, but it's hard to see. Yeah, sorry about that. I'll start getting darker. I'm just trying to get the rough layout done, and then I'll. So. All right, so I got the shoulders here. This probably needs to end here. So now I'll just kind of go in and try and make more decisive marks. Nighthawk Warrior, how long do you think it'll take you to finish the book and launch your campaign? For me, I think it's going to be good to have like that deadline in mind. So that way I know, like, okay, I have till the end of June or July to finish the book, you know, so that'll give me a good time frame to keep in mind and then just keep me on track. So. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, hopefully it's easier to see than the blue line. The blue line is so light and it just kind of gets lost. But all right, so his belt, and then your let's say this is the top of his shoulder. Got your clavicle here. This is your top of your shoulder. What I do for the are these the traps? No, these are the traps. This is your latissimus dorsi, right? Your lats, yeah. I draw down from here at an angle and kind of get my, I know this is about where the lats would be. And also, let me find a piece of paper. I can show you something else. Here's my rough from last night that I didn't go with. I was going to do a Gambit and Rogue, like more of a action shot, but I kind of scrapped that and just went with my other idea. But anyway, I was going to show you, okay, for the torso. Okay, so here is like your rib cage, torso, nice circle. Okay, here is the front. If you're drawing, this is kind of how I think of it. Okay, the chest kind of goes around the ribs there. And then this guy here, the top of your abs, and then your shoulder muscles here. So what I wanted to show you, here's your lats, right? So here's the top of your shoulder, here's my lats, comes down like that. Top of your shoulder comes down like that. So how do I know where the waist starts and where it should be? So from about this area here, right below the pec, you draw a line down about like that. And then this area is where you have these muscles that kind of go in between your ribs, right? Those cool muscles, I don't know what they're called, but I love those muscles. And then these kind of like meld into your abs, right? So, and then your abs will be in the center of this area that I drew over here. So, and then from there, you can, you know, if he's a skinny dude or a bigger dude, you can make the lats bigger, make his waist bigger. But this is where everything comes off. And then where your pecs stop up here at this angle, this is like the start of your deltoids. Is that your deltoid? This is your bicep. That's your tricep, deltoids. Yeah. So there you go. So the biceps connect there. Your deltoids will stop about the same distance as your pecs stop on the ribs there. So that's like, again, it's all measurements. It's all knowing where things start and stop. And there you go. Here's this muscle here. So that's, in my head, this is what I'm going off of for my lats. Now the pec can go a little bit higher because if, you know, he's got big pecs, you know, have it overlap, have it go over your lats and then kind of connect to the deltoid over there. So kind of looks more three-dimensional, if that makes sense. And then you got your traps, your neck, bum, bum, bum. And your chin is going to start around there. Sometimes I put my chin up too high and I need to not make necks so big sometimes, but like Rogue's neck last night, super long, but she's got a way too long of a neck there going on, so her chin should be probably about there, but with the angle it doesn't look too bad. So anyway, there's that. All right, hope you enjoyed that little thing. Nighthawk Warrior says, I'm working on final pages now. I finished my thumbnails. Cool deal, cool deal. I'm no artist, but enjoy watching masters of work, their craft in various mediums, not just drawing, but cooking, metalwork, woodworking. That's cool. Myra's more written word and poetry. Nice, cool, man. I started to look at the format of how a writer does his or her work for a comic strip. It's different for sure than short stories or novels. Reminds me more like a screenplay. Yep, definitely just like that. I see you're drawing a torso, Eric. Yes, I was. Yes, I was. So, cool, man. Yeah, if you're interested in doing that comic book format or like a screenplay, I would definitely recommend a book called How to Save the Cat. It's like the structure of a story, and it breaks it down into different what do you call it? Like acts, like Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, and it tells you like the important parts you want to have in each act. For you too, Nighthawk Warrior, really good for storytelling, for, you know, screenplay, whatever. So How to Save the Cat, you can even Google it and Google maybe like How to Save the Cat PDF, like breakdown or something, and it's a downloadable PDF, and it gives you the bare bones of writing a story, and like all the stuff I'm talking about, it'll have it laid out in a PDF, and it'll describe each piece of the story that you want to have. So like the beginning, he talks about laying out your like the main problem or the main characters, things like that, like different key ingredients you want to have in your story. So I would definitely recommend that. Really good stuff. I did that for Shadow Sentry. I printed it out and then I plugged in each part of my story into those segments just to make sure it matched up, and I had those key ingredients in there. So, how to save the cat. Yeah, but speaking of cooking, I was thinking of doing a cooking stream. I make pancakes for my kids every Saturday morning, and I have a really good recipe if you like homemade pancakes. So, I don't know, let's not doing something different. Maybe do a cooking stream. That'd be kind of weird, but I don't know. That'd be kind of cool. Nah, swan-necked ladies are lovely. So, Eric, what's your favorite thing about drawing? Do you write your own stories, Eric, or do you have a writer? So I'm writing my own story for the Shadow Sentry. So that's all my own. I've written other ones, but honestly, they're not in like a final format. They're very, rough. I have the idea, and I have the bare bones of the story that I want to tell. But yeah, so but with Shadow Sentry, I'm trying to do it all myself. But I will have an editor who is going to take a look at it. I've already had a friend look at it for me and just kind of give me his feedback, make sure I'm not missing anything or things are not confusing. So he did that for me already. I kind of went back and, did some edits, and then I'll hand it off to a guy who's more of a writer himself and kind of have him edit it for me just to make sure, I'm not missing anything, or if I can do stuff better, I'll do that. So definitely going to have a bunch of eyes on it. And yeah, I sent it off to a few more friends as well. Edwin Boyette is looking at it for me. Yeah, so there you go. Yes, sir. So back to Pike. And then Nighthawk Warrior, my favorite thing about drawing is probably just like the creation aspect of it. Creating new characters, as I'm sure Nighthawk Warrior, you're creating your own characters. But that's the fun part for me. I love, making my own stories, making my own villains and heroes, and creating a story to put them all in. I think that's definitely, I know that's not exactly drawing, but when I can draw my own stuff and not someone else's, that's the best. So that is what I like doing when I'm drawing. I like to be creating. And I mean, I'm kind of creating now. I'm creating a new scene or a new whatever, but just to have that freedom to do things your own way, the way you see it in your head, that's cool. All right, so there's that. So I like this angle for his waist. So, and then I'll have this leg coming forward. Maybe not so extreme, but something like this. And then this leg, kind of like he's charging or just taking a stand. I think that's cool. So I am going to send this to the guy and have him just approve the layout that I've got down here. He did say he wanted to approve the layout, so I'm just I'll rough it, and then before I get too detailed, I'll send this off to him and just make sure he likes it. So, yes, sir. And then this is, let me see where I'm at on the screen. Okay. This angle of the leg is always kind of interesting and hard, but if I'm going to have the knee, it's going to be something like this. It's always hard to get the 3D look of the leg when you're doing it at this angle, but it'd be something like that. Yo. All right, what I miss? Yeah, I have a crazy idea of the main character is not a good guy, but the bad guy. An ancient green dragon looking back on his life and plans over the thousands of years he's lived. That's cool. That sounds like a cool story. Me too, I have lots of random characters, but when I create new characters, I have them as heads with different designs sometimes. If I like the whole design of the head, I draw whole body figures. That's one way to do it. I love RPG, both video and tabletop, for making characters for the best part. Cool. Yeah, there's a lot of good... I loved, when I was growing up, looking at Warhammer and like things like that. Those characters and just, you know, the design of them was like just awesome. I picked up a Warhammer magazine. I never played the game, but I picked up a magazine just so I could look at the pictures and the artwork. The artwork is always sweet too. It's like painted and looking good. So some of my drawings of lots of my characters that I'm not happy with, I leave as just drawings, as heads with necks. That's funny. Yeah, I have probably a lot of stuff like that from when I was a kid. There's a lot of stuff I would not finish, so I've probably tons of unfinished stuff somewhere in a box or something. I actually still have some of my old drawings I did as a kid. I think I have one of those 8.5 by 11 portfolios. I just stuck them all in. But yeah, maybe one day I'll do a looking back on the art of Eric Niltowski stream. All right, so that's, I think, a good basic layout. Hopefully you can see that, what I've done there. And now, let me take it away. I'm just gonna peek at it up close and see if it looks good and the proportions look all right. Yeah, so I think definitely this area should be more like here. Like maybe this is bigger. I'm just gonna add on a little bit of extra girth. So there's that. I need to make his staff smaller for sure. I went a little too big, so I'm gonna trim that down. Something like, well, it's coming forward, so I gotta make sure I get the angle right. It's hard to see through the ruler sometimes and draw what you need to draw. So I'm gonna something like that, maybe. All right. That's definitely a little better. It's actually fitting into his fist there. And then up the top here. So something like that. And the Kirby crackle. So this is just to simulate where the crackle will go. And then he has these things on his forearms, and it's like open, and you can see like the Kirby crackle inside there. So that would be where that's gonna go. The head, I'll roughen his face real quick. Do a Space Marine from Warhammer 4K, 40K. That'd be cool. I've never drawn one of those guys, so I should. That'd be really fun. I have more fun drawing my own characters, Nighthawk Warrior says, than characters owned by Marvel or DC. Even though I like the characters, I have more creative freedom with my own characters. For sure. Yeah. Yeah. I would much rather do that myself. I do love Wolverine, I love Batman, but drawing your own creative stuff, that is where it's at. All right, so I got my little T, whatever you want to call it, X, and my eyeballs. So I kind of start with like a diagonal line. If you want to draw a mean guy, kind of got to go at an angle. If you're Joe Mad, your angle is like whoop, whoop, super extreme, but I don't go super extreme. So yeah, it's almost like drawing a V at an angle, and then his head is tilted down a little bit, so I know his eyes are gonna be like this. as far as measurements on the eyes go, you should have a whole eyeball length from the end of your eyeball to the side of your head. Same thing on this side, and then a whole eyeball length in between the two eyeballs. So I can make this one a little bit bigger. I think it looks better when there's less space on the side of the head. If you have a whole eyeball length, it's kind of almost too much, but it's a comic book, so it doesn't have to be super perfect. And of course, you draw the crinkling of the mask because he's angry and mad. And it's just a mask, so I don't have to draw a mouth or anything. Maybe a little area where his nose would be. I don't really like masks where you see the guy's mouth and the artist like puts a mouth in the mask. I'd rather just have it be plain. Like I like Deadpool when it's just, you know, flat. Maybe a little bit of nose, a little bit of crinkle up here and stuff, but I don't like the mouth thing. I don't do that. So, about how much is one of your commissions? I talked to a tattoo artist on a design I have, and he loved it. My idea is have many heroes and well-known villains, but I want something unique. So, like a breakdown of pricing for a full body, one character with ink would be like $150, and that's actually a convention rate. That's what I charge at conventions. If you want a full body pencil, I do $100. A headshot is like $75. If you want background or color on the one full body figure, it's what is it? $200. And then like full background and color and everything would be, I think, $250 or $300, something like that. And that's for one character. So, and then, you know, so that's my base pricing, and then it, you know, things go up from there depending on how many characters you want. But it'll max out at about $500 for pencils and inks on a like 11 by 17, you know, full page with everybody on it. And then if you want colors, it'd be an additional $100. So you're looking at like $600 for a full 11 by 17 pencil ink color piece. So I'll give you a little idea there. All right, let me draw his mask here. So again, looking at my phone reference. Here, let me brighten that up, see if you can see that there. So that's his mask. He's got like almost like a arrow here. So I'm just gonna draw an imaginary arrow to get the measurements right. About the top of his brow. This comes in. And then he's got a circle on his head. So I'll just rough out a circle there. And then somewhere about there, this goes down, down. This will be here. Yeah, I love drawing masks and stuff. One of my characters, another story I was going to do a webcomic for a while back. It's called War Gun. And I actually have a Facebook page up for it. It's just War Gun. You could check it out if you want in your free time. But there's some images of him on there. And he had a mask on. And but basically that story, it's kind of like a Terminator-esque story, but he's in another dimension, and his dad. So what a war gun is like the one character that fights for the kingdom, right? So instead of having full-out wars, they have the war gun who would come and battle it out against the other kingdom's war gun for territory. You know, if they want to fight and have someone else's territory, they settle it with a war gun. So the main guy in the story, he's been sent to our world, but the reason is because he's being hidden. His father was the war gun before him, and so he sends him to our world to hide him and to keep him protected, because he knows there's some like crazy stuff going on, and when he grows up, he's going to be the next War Gun. So he's kind of keeping him safe and out of the picture. So when the story opens, basically he's in our world. He's grown up now. He's a police officer, and he's like, or maybe it was more like I don't know, something a little more like a Navy SEAL or SWAT team, something a little more exciting, a little more dangerous. But anyway, not that police officers don't have a dangerous job, but you know what I'm saying. So they're like taking out terrorists or something, and then he gets like just portaled out, like all of a sudden. He has no idea what is going on. He's just hops through a portal and he's dropped like into a war zone in this other realm, another dimension, and it's basically he has to fight for his survival, and he hops through all these worlds and realms, and basically the idea is his father is trying to train him like on the fly, like super fast, so he just drops him into all these realms and kingdoms, and he just has to survive, and he's training him to be the next War Gun. So that's the basic idea, and then you get in all the backstory and everything, but that was one story I wanted to do, and it was either that one or Shadow Sentry, but I wanted to go with Shadow Sentry because the War Gun book was just more of a one-shot, kind of like single, story, and then it was kind of over, but I wanted to do Shadow Sentry because it's an ongoing series, and it could just, go on forever and ever, like the X-Men or something. So that's why I went with Shadow Sentry. But War Gun, go check it out. There's a page up for it on Facebook, and you can see some artwork from that. Let's see. Hey Eric, are you going to sell original Shadow Sentry pages? Yes, I will. Yes, I will. Deadpool was created to draw over and over easily. Yeah. I'd like to get Hobgoblin on his skiff with a pumpkin bomb and other head. That'd be cool. The Hobgoblin is a fun character. I don't think I've drawn the Hobgoblin before, actually. No time to save up. Yeah, if you do want to commission, just let me know when you're ready. Definitely be down for that. Gary's been selling his Titan pages after he finishes them. While his early ones, I'm going to sell my pages for my comic. Yep, definitely a good idea. Ways to raise money, and for more of a high dollar amount. Oh, cool, sweet. Nighthawk Warrior. So you know what I'm talking about. The War Gun thing is in the back of my sketchbook. That is up on my website for sale too. And your Inktober 2018 sketchbook. Sweet, man. Yeah, man. So you know a little bit about the War Gun. So yeah, it's funny too because I have his mask. He's a masked character, but I always go back and forth with like changing it. At first, it was like too much like Grifter, and I'm like, I gotta make it a little more original. And so I have like all these different, things I've changed with it over time. And if I did it today, it probably would look different than what I have on the website. So yeah, it's always evolving. But I think I came up with a good look for it if I ever did do that. But yeah, so it's definitely something I'd like to do down the road if I can, for sure. And then I also have my Avon's Quest idea, which is where my son got his name, Avon. But that was a story that's more like a Lord of the Rings meets, I don't know, it's like more of an epic tale, like a Lord of the Rings or something, and a whole world that I've created and stuff like that. So that's another one I definitely want to do, and I got to do it before I die because that'd be cool for my son to have his name on a book. So all right. So there's that. So yeah, so this basically is a breakdown, and then of course I'd have to put in all the hardware, bullets, guns, all that stuff. But this is a simple breakdown. What happens before you go to inks or before you go to finishes? Excuse me. So this is the breakdown. So blah blah blah. All right, so I'm gonna stop here on this one because I'm gonna take a picture of this and then send it to the guy. Make sure he likes the pose. So I'm not going to go too far on it in case he doesn't like it. And I got to start over. And then this fist, I might have to change. This might need to, hold on a second, let me look at this. Yeah, I need to thin out this fist over here. Can you see that? It should be in the screen. So this, his elbow needs to be bigger, so this should probably be back here. And then this could probably be thinner, and then his hand needs to be thinner. It's like too bulky. And of course, that goes on there. All right, minor adjustments, minor adjustments. Thin that out. Oh gosh, sorry. I'll just hit my head on the camera. All right, so yeah, I had to thin that out. That was a little too thick there. Cool deal. All right, so that is done. And again, I will be drawing Pike. This is from Inktober 2018. Alrighty. Well, today, guys, I'm only going to do an hour stream. I do apologize. So I'm going to stop it here. It has been an hour. So thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate you guys. Today is Thursday, so I'll be back tomorrow, same time, 11 a.m. And I shouldn't be late tomorrow, but let me give a little plugs for my book, Shadow Sentry. So Shadow Sentry is up on Indiegogo, the pre-campaign page. You could sign up with your email, and I'll send you out updates, new artwork, and definitely when it goes live in just a few weeks. So I'm super excited. Please check that out. You can also go to my website up on the top of the screen there, ericnowotowskiart.com. The link to the Indiegogo page is on one of my posts for the Shadow Sentry, so you can check that out. But yeah, all my social media links are on there, as well as a link to my store. And yeah, I think that is it. So if you want to check out some more Wargun art, you can go to the Facebook page. Just type in Wargun in the search. Or you can get my sketchbook that's available on my website. The Art of Eric Nowotowski. There's a big thing of it in the back with a bunch of artwork and some of the story and stuff that I was working on for that. So awesome, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate you guys. Hope you have a great day. Stay cool, stay healthy, and I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you, guys. Peace.